Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi Grananti Bhurida Janaha Bhuvi Grananti Bhurida Janaha. Human life and existence. From childhood, we have been constantly hearing the human life to be most precious, and every moment of our life we are supposed to dedicate in such a way we constantly evolve towards the divine. But in the nature, everything seems to be making us forget the divine and get entangled in the world. Beautiful nature around, calmness everywhere. The divine presence is illumining all things. If we have the proper vision, proper understanding, then this world is a heaven. If we are inside is filled with desires and other things of the world, then this world is supposed to be most miserable place. Now, drifting us to some state of enjoyments, possessions, comforts. Next moments, letting us fall into the worldly atmosphere of constant bondage and suffering. How to convert our life into golden one. Same nature, same person. If we change our attitude towards the world and towards ourselves, then we manifest our inner divinity. If we move with the acquired tendencies of the past to hold on to the world in some way, then whatever we are, either human level or animal level, will manifest from us. There are three natures of man: human, divine, and the animal nature. We have to destroy the animal nature, transcend the human nature, and manifest the inner divinity. This is the whole of sadhana. What happens is you become totally free from all things. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, wherever I am in the kingdom of Lord Rama. I am in the Ayodhya of Rama. So that state of existence we have to acquire. Here we are entering into the new chapter, the Master and Keshab. October 27th, 1882, yesterday little we read. It was Friday, the day of Lakshmi Puja. We could understand what is this Lakshmi Puja means. The jivas are continuing after the creation As it was at the end of the previous cycle, so it begins. Just like when we sleep, whatever we were, the same thing it begins with. The world may change, but I am the same person. With the same tendencies, it was there in the unmanifested, manifest again. I had gone to sleep and entered into dormant state. I came to active state. World has undergone within that time so much of changes, but I am what I am. When I sleep, what I was, my tendencies, my vasanas, my karma, my understanding, my knowledge, all this as it is. When I get up, the same thing. Like that when universe dissolves, the last stage what it was, with the same stage, same jivas in the same position, it begins with. This and every jiva needs three important things, that is the new phases I enter new phases, and I need this transformation to go on. And then the Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti. These three are my positions. And what changes we have to undergo is Srishti Sthiti Pralaya, like I am constantly changing. The changes are taking place. And in this process of transformation, I need the three powers, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati and Mahakali. My old thing has to be destroyed every moment. Next moment I am taking, every moment I am changing. The previous state is getting destroyed and new state is created. The change, I am changing, my body is changing, my mind is changing, my experiences are changing. Every moment I am changing. This change means the previous moment is dying away, new moment is getting born. So, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya, every moment it is going on. And when we come to the spiritual evolution, again, we see there must be great transformations. I need my old samskaras and vasanas are to be destroyed. Then I must get the new understanding and knowledge of life and other things, spiritual life, and there must be attainments. So I must be constantly evolving my own struggle to evolve to my divinehood. I need these three powers, Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi and Mahakali. And nature is taking me through a course of transformation. My body is changing, my mind is changing, everything is changing. Change means the previous state is dead and new state I am acquiring. Every moment it is happening by itself. For the jiva's sake, these three powers will be there as the universe undergoes the transfer. This is constantly changing universe. But laws are constant, unchanging. But the world is changing. So the constantly changing is also governed by the three Shaktis, and I am evolving spiritually. This material existence and that is spiritual existence. Both need. So we saw what is the part of Lakshmi. Why do we worship Lakshmi? It is one of the powers of nature that governs the sthiti state. Keshab Chandra Sen had arranged a boat trip on the Ganges for Sri Ramakrishna. Keshab had great faith in Sri Ramakrishna, and the transformation the world would undergo because of him. They had begun a new order of things, that is Brahmo Samaj, which wanted to change the very structure of the Hinduism because of the other religious orders trying to show the defects in Hinduism. They wanted to bring about the changes. But who were commenting, who were deciding, who were showing the defects were not matured to know the transcendental aspect of Hinduism. Simple things like God, though Nirguna Nirakara, formless and qualityless existence, it can undergo transformation into Saguna Sakara, Nirguna Nirakara can undergo. It can manifest varieties of forms, names and powers as and when it needs. The whole universe itself is a manifestation of the Absolute. So, varieties can come from the varietyless. This concept was unknown to the other, especially the Westerners and of the Middle East people, and they were trying to present theirs by condemning or bringing down showing the defects, the idol worship, so many gods and goddesses. They could not understand one is manifesting as many. How we tally everything, whatever we worship, be it a stone or a tree or a river or anything, try to see divine pervading it. The divine pervading every object. It's like man is dead body, matter. But there is a soul. There is something, consciousness pervading the bodily existence, which is independent of the bodily existence. It manifests to just three states of our existence, Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti, waking, dreaming and deep sleep. How the Chaitanya manifests, how the Chaitanya passes through the three levels of consciousness. These things were very difficult for the Westerners to understand, and other religious orders which were trying to bring about or present themselves by condemning these things. So these people, the Brahmo Samaj, came up with removing the idol worship and things like that. God is without form. Just they could not say or understand God is unlimited. Limited cannot be God. Suppose I say this alone is God and the other things are not God, then I am limiting. The moment I put a limitation, God is Nirguna Nirakara, or God is Saguna Sakara, or God is this and not that, God is only one form. Whatever I say, it's all right for me, but I am putting a limitation on God. Sri Ramakrishna passed through all the varieties of people, whoever has worshipped in whatever way and whatever way they have achieved, and then came with all paths lead to the same. We are moving through the different paths and calling the same one in different ways. So this truth that would unite the universe, it was not yet. These Brahmo Samaj people had gone a long way to bring about the certain transformation, basic transformation in Hinduism. But then these would form one more sect and one more problem. They are going to present God again in a limited form. But when Keshab came to Sri Ramakrishna, he saw a new horizon, new understanding. Problem of man would be solved. The whole world can become one. The various religious orders, various races, various professions, various ways of living, various linguistic differences, all can. They are like different flowers and fruits in a garden. Each flower doesn't limit the other flower. It adds to the beauty of its own and to the others. It is like a bouquet. It's like a beautiful garden with varieties of things. So many religions, so many ways of understanding God, so many ways of knowing. So all limitations, where all limitations break, where all differences dissolve, they saw in Sri Ramakrishna. Oh, there is a place where differences can be dissolved. Man can have new vision. Man can have real freedom. Where does this all differences and things dissolve? All imperfections dissolve? All limitations go away? Is spirituality and divinity, which doesn't limit. Spirituality also I can limit and present. Divinity also you can limit and present. Like Western concept of divinity is entirely different from Indian concept of divinity. Western concept of spirituality is entirely different from Indian, where their absolute existence has not come into picture. Nowadays, it is slowly gaining understanding of the Westerners. There are higher horizons to venture. So this understanding came. Now, Sri Ramakrishna's life and teaching extremely simple. There is no complication, there is no philosophy. Even a child can understand his language. The well-educated and learned person also can understand that. A sadhaka, advanced in spiritual life, also can understand. A beginner who has changed his life, he wants to change, he also can. A person who is atheist, doesn't believe in God, for him also there is a place. So all things. So when Keshab saw this, he had highest regard for Sri Ramakrishna and one ray of hope for the whole universe, the whole humanity, a light as if. So Sri Ramakrishna's company, they sought in various ways and he wanted people to experience that. And things we have heard but not seen, that he wanted to display to people. See, here we have heard of Samadhi in so many books. We have not seen anywhere. You can see a person who is now and then entering into the state of Samadhi where he is totally oblivious of the external world and his own bodily existence. Even Naren, when he asked about what is ecstasy, the example given to him was the entirely different. That he wanted to explain, to give an example. If you want to really know what it is, go to, there is one place, one person, Sri Ramakrishna, who enters into ecstasy. You can see there. So, a Western educated Westerner, he is presenting Sri Ramakrishna, the ecstasies, the Samadhi sthitis to Vivekananda, who would be Vivekananda, Naren, in college days. After that he wants to know. So here Keshab Sen is arranging for a boat trip on Ganges for Sri Ramakrishna. It's a part of the Leela. He wants others to participate in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. So he wants Ramakrishna to participate in the life of others, in the presence of nature, where people can see. Suppose I take some people to Sri Ramakrishna. If they go with their preconditioned mind, they see Sri Ramakrishna in preconditioned mind. Doubts, who is that person, I want to know. So many, with a mind is already limited. It cannot understand Sri Ramakrishna. It cannot see the light of Sri Ramakrishna. The transcendental is manifesting in a bodily existence that they cannot see. And what light Keshab has got that cannot be understood by these people. So he wants them to be in such a state of fully bloom and one with nature when they can understand the divine. Divine can be understood only when we are one with nature. And second thing, because we separate from nature and become so small to hold on to certain things. The moment I hold on to certain things, I become so small. I have to be free and unlimited to tune myself to the nature. And a personality who is divine also blooms in fullness when there is participation of the nature. That's what we see in the early mornings and evenings, how the nature makes man manifest his divine awarenesses. Divine awareness gets tarnished and it becomes covered. At dawn and dusk you'll see all things calming down. Nature is trying to match with the human existence, with all beings. Nature is trying to match. We are not trying to match with nature at any moment. But we can perceive nature is calling us. Sandhya time. It's a beautiful setting. Morning, when the night enters into day and day enters into night. So here, Keshab Singh wants that the jivas who meet Sri Ramakrishna must be in a bloomed state of being one with nature. The one who is going to manifest the divine also must be in his fullness to manifest, radiate great spirituality. So he has arranged for Sri Ramakrishna a boat. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the steamboat with Keshab and his Brahmo followers cast anchor in the Ganges alongside the Kali temple at Dakshineshwar. They have started from somewhere, I think somewhere in Calcutta or from other upper layer they are coming down. And we see they have anchored at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock means it is winter, October 27. November is beginning, means days are shorter and nights are longer. The sunset is early. We can see the difference between where we are sitting now in Udupi and on the other end of the land. We are in the west coast now, east coast. Winter means sun rises in the east coast first, then comes to the west coast. At 4 o'clock in the winter, it's almost sun has come down sufficiently. It is nearing the sunset. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, steamboat. These steamers are quite large. They do not come very close to the land because once they are caught in the mud or in the sand of the river, it will be difficult for them to move it. Where they see the water depth, there will be the near place, the end of the river touching the land will be usually a higher level than the middle portions. So both steamers go in the center, they move as much as possible, and the bringing, going, getting down, everything is done, taking away the things and all. Through small boats come and bring them, people, load them, unload them, and things happen. So in the Ganges, along the Kali temple, the boat is anchored, the steamer. The passengers saw in front of them bathing ghat and the Chandni. Chandni is the place, it is the entrance as if to the Kali temple from the river. River ghat. Steps are there, huge open place covered with roof covered. So it is roof covered place, it is covered. People can sit there, meditate. Those who go for bath can leave their clothes and go down and come back. Now we have river here. We have that Chandni-like place, but it doesn't have cover. But when we come, after climbing all the steps here, we see our dining hall is like a Chandni place, where they can keep the clothes and go for bath, come back, and sit there looking at the river, they can meditate. To their left, in the temple compound, stood 6 temples of Shiva, and to their right, another group of 6 temples. The steamer is standing in the front of the Chandni. This side of the Chandni, 6 temples are there. This side also 6 temples are there. To the left and in row. It is a huge long row. Inside is the Kali temple and Radhakanta temple. Main temple, huge temple, is of the Kali temple. Shiva to the right. The white steeple of Kali temple, the tree tops of the Panchavati, and the silhouette of pine trees stood high against the blue autumn sky. It is now, when the boat is standing, it is to the east, west. This one is east, now sun is setting on the other side. So the trees and all, the light, silhouette is there. Means the trees are looking dark compared to the light behind. That's called silhouette of all the trees and all. What a beautiful sight it could be. The tops of the temples and everything. In the early morning, if you go to our rock, you will see, and at evening, the top of the temple, or what you call, rock, Holy Mother's rock. That holy, it's a beautiful sight to see at dawn and dusk, top of the temples. That's what we see. Against the stood high pine trees. The temple, next to that is the Panchavati, in the end is the last portion, the pine trees. All this was looking in a beautiful way. We'll continue tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.